When I was younger, I used to be obsessed with creepypastas. Even as I grow older, these stories still stay with me. Shit, that's where my username comes from. I can name almost every story if you were to ask me. They were a huge part of my childhood. I'm not the only one who feels that way too. If you were a young teen back in 2013 to 2015, you were most likely influenced by his stuff. I can still remember the culture around them at the time. The time of being insane was the stats people admired and what people unironically thought was cool.
Feel free to tell everyone that I'm the monster in your story. But please, don't forget to mention in which chapter you created me.
As cringy as that stuff was, it still defines the culture around creepypasta at the time, which has been mostly lost to time. You had to be there to see it, as the only way you can find it now is by looking at the comments of old creepypasta AMVs. But what if I said there was a way to experience what the culture was at the time for a game? Time before post-internet irony and even fucking Five Nights at Freddy's. That game would be Creepypasta Land. A fan game made an RPG maker that predated FNAF. At that time, the only indie horror games at the time were Amiga and Slenderman. I remember watching Let's Play this game through Master Max and Ouija Kit, back when I had no access to these kinds of games. I was obsessed with it and watched those videos so many times, I ironically thought this was the greatest game to ever be made. I was a dumb kid, but that was till FNAF would come out and become my main interest throughout middle school. So I decided that when I got my PC recently that I would play the game for myself, really get to experience this game firsthand. So let's go down memory lane and play Creepypasta Land. Before we start, I want to say that getting these games to start and record on OBS was a complete pain in my ass. One that refused to even open up. I tried everything until the game just randomly started out of nowhere. We're already off to a great start. We'll just get started with the opening screen. You can already feel the edginess radiating from it. This game was made by a guy named Lucas who's from Brazil. Because of this, the grammar is kinda shit, but I won't make fun of it too much since it's not his fault, but there are moments where it comes off pretty funny at times. Before you even start, the game warns that you shouldn't play if you have psychological and heart problems, and that if you spent money on this, you were scammed and should ask for your money back. God, I love when games put these warnings on as if they're the scariest thing ever made, but let's get on to creating our character. I named myself Jeff for each game, it just felt right. The game starts with you and your mom moving into Koreatown where she bought the house off the internet. Don't think about it too much. When we're finally allowed to move around, we get to explore the house, and that's when you discover that most of this game is just a glorified walking simulator, where you get a shitload of screamers and spooky images from clicking shit, which include Lavender Town, Smile Dog, Fun is Infinite, and you get to hear the Suicide Mouse music if you click on the piano. It goes on like this for a while. Honestly, I like how all the creepypastas were integrated into this. It makes exploring the game pretty fun as you get to look around and find stuff like this. It actually makes the game surprisingly engaging. You can even find Yu-Gi-Oh cards that represent creepypasta. Just don't look at the description, these cards are way too overpowered. Let's move on with the story where we go to the basement and find Jeff. Not gonna lie, this picture is kinda creepy, but anyways, Jeff has a signature line, but be careful, cause if you choose wrong... Yeah, that sums up most of this game. The game is filled with screamers. If you choose wrong, you get jump scare. You get caught, you get jump scare. You progress the story, you get jump scare. Even when you're doing something randomly, you get jump scare. This does get old real fast and gets really annoying, especially since they have the noise come out in full fucking blast. I had to lower my audio the entire time I was playing because of this. But it's a bit charming and it is part of the game's style. But back to Jeff, the way you have to deal with is by praying, because we all know that Jeff's a big giant old atheist.
Move the Bibles over to the sci-fi section.
After this, we go to sleep, where Jeff haunts us and begins to chase you, and when he gets to you, he flashes you, and he does it again, and again, and again, and again. Okay, can you fuck off? And then the dream ends, which brings day 1 to an end, and now it's time to go on to day 2. We get up and leave the house to finally explore a town where we run into Dee, who says, "By the way, watch out in this town, or the insanity will eat your soul. So see you later." Okay. After this, we go to the neighbor's house where we can find the Mario victim, we can meet Gaius, who gets shy after you stare at him for too long, we get to see the ghost girl in the bathroom, and if you have the key to the parents' room, you can watch a 3-minute Brazil meme, which just invokes 2013 humor. But back to the story, we meet a boy named Ben, just a regular old kid who likes video games and creepypasta. After we meet, we see an average Let's Play from DSP.
Look at that! What? Oh, fuck this. Put the controller down. Done.
And then we can look at all his other tablets. We see Ouija Kid and this other YouTuber, mostly because they got the game popular, but we'll see more Ouija Kid later. He even got his own card. But we see username 666 on one, and then on the other one we see a My Little Pony intro that leads to a screamer. Just a heads up, we're going to be seeing a lot of My Little Pony shit in this video. It's in almost every one of these games. But after this, we go outside where we meet Mephi, who tells us that the forest is safe and we should go there. We listen to him when we go there, but when we get there, we meet a mysterious girl who tells us to go away, but Ben's just like, "Fuck you too, bitch!" We go into the forest where we get stalked by... I guess we should just listen. But after a few tries, I make it to the cabin. I don't know why it took me so long, I think I'm just really stupid. We meet the girl from before inside the cabin and she protects us from Slenderman. She then explains that a curse is making creepypasta from the internet come alive. She won't tell us any more for the time being, so it's time that we go to sleep where we get chased by the rake in our dreams. It's the most boring dream of the game since it's just a screamer, but now we're on day 3 where things start to get interesting. We wake up back in our house where we meet a girl named Sally based on the Creepypasta, in which we will not be talking about. I am not going down that rabbit hole, but basically she's just a creepy girl who's into creepy stuff and likes to act edgy. She wants us to find a mirror so we can play Bloody Mary. I really love your house, it's cold and full of sorrow and secrets. Are you ready to play Bloody Mary? Okay then, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary. I wasn't expecting that this would work anyways. Let's go out, we can find Ben and play mini games on the... This used to scare me as a kid. I am very disappointed in myself. After this we meet with Ben who's freaking the fuck out. He read the Ben Drown stories, beginning to think that he is in fact that version of Ben. This will become important later, but back to the story. Ben tells us about Sally and how she's a bit quirky. That girl, she's crazy. When I met her, we played hide and seek, and when she found me, she started to follow me with a bloody knife in her hands. What the fuck? Ben decides to test out the curse to see if he can make Tails doll appear. What is this pixelated mess? I'll just let the clip play. I don't even have anything to add, this is just amazing, but uh-oh, now we're cursed by the Tails doll, and Slender, Jeff, and the Rake are ready to fuck shit up. But it's not too bad, you just go to Sally and it's over. Pretty anticlimactic. We decide to go out and get some fresh air, where the tail doll trolls us. Ben just wants to kill it as according to him, if you had read creepypastas just like me, you would know that thing don't even has a soul. I think that we need to kill it. But Sally doesn't take kindly to this as she says, "If you kill that innocent doll, I will kill you slowly and I will drink your blood." Jesus Christ, we're supposed to like this character in the end, but they push so hard on being edgy that she comes off so tryhard. After their fight, we go to the mountains where we meet a certain guy at the top. It's fucking Sonic the Hedgehog. He's real, and according to him, he's an actor. Which just makes sense. I mean, how can you explain the Pizza Hut ads?
Introducing Pizza Hut's new ultimate stuffed crust pizza.
But Sally calls him out and says that he isn't real and also that he killed Tails, which is the Sonic revealing that he's in fact Sonic.exe. If I didn't have footage of this, no one would ever believe that this game was real. After another chase sequence, Dee saves us and sends Sonic back to hell. He does reveal that we are the reason that this is happening in the first place, but we'll reveal more later. After we leave, Sally tells us to meet her at the theater the next day. We go back home and we go to see the Wake Up to Ponies. We meet Rainbow Dash and Twilight Sparkles. We even see Ben and Link. What a beautiful dream. There are ponies and butterflies everywhere, and look at this guy, he's really cool. He is as talkative as you. Okay, that was actually a good joke, but when we meet Pinkie Pie, she turns scary. And then Ben says this, "Pinkie, leave him to me." This motherfucker sounds like a goddamn supervillain. It leads to Ben shaming us for having this dream and then we wake up. Man, this game is so stupid sometimes. We meet up with Ben and go to the theater, but before we get there, Ben asks us this. "You like creepypastas? Do you think that I'm a monster?" I, being a Chad, says he's no monster, he's my friend. But this moment gets interrupted by a Zoggle screamer where we meet the Royal Knight of the SCP, who just gives us their fucking phone number. I don't even know what to say at this point. We finally get to the theater where we meet the hall monitor and then go into the first room where this scene plays out. "Go away, I want to stay alone. Go away, go away. No, 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 I want to stay alone. There's just one way to do that." It ends with the only scary image in the game. After that shit, we go to the other room where we get cursed by the ghosts, where I fucked up and chose wrong. Shit, I have to do the whole Scooper shit again, god damn it. After that, we finally meet with Sally, who was just playing with Laughing Jack, who just rage baits the fuck out of Ben. This is insane. Sally, please, let's get out of this place. I'm not feeling well. I felt something in my heart. Am I dying? This is blood first. Ha 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 ha. Your heart wants blood. Wait a second. Are you saying that I'm feeling my pain in my heart because I want to kill? Ha 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 ha. You can't escape from your destiny. You will become one of us soon. Ha ha ha. After this, Ben and Sally have a fight, but Ben feels sad and makes up on which we make a promise. Sorry, I didn't know that. I feel really guilty now. Sally, you should know that you can always trust us. We are in the same situation. You're not alone. Really? So we can be friends? Sure, one time you said we will be friends forever. Even after the death, we will be friends. So let's make a promise. We will be friends forever. We will be friends forever. I really appreciate that. Friends forever. What about you? So this is it. We promise each other that nothing can stop our friendship. We will be friends forever. After this nice moment, we go to the last room where we go for Herobrine, Lost Silver, Spooky Pinkie Pie again, and get jump scared by Suicide Mouse. I sound like a fucking schizophrenic. But we meet the girl from earlier as she reveals her name is Samara, and she's also Sally's cousin. Ben gets horny from himself. Wow, you look Sally's twin sister. Your parents exactly like Sally's parents, but I think that you are more beauty, Samara. But we lock in and she tells us to meet Dee in the abandoned house the next day so we can end the curse. We go back and Sally comes with us back to my house so we can go to sleep and have another nightmare. This one sucks ass. We get chased by Laughing Jack and have to find a portal, but it's so damn dark I can barely see anything. It took me so many tries to beat this, but don't worry, the sequence will return and get worse. We wake up to find Ben outside, he's missing his glasses, and he also acts like a super edgelord, too depressed to be scared. Fun fact, if you go to Ben's house, you can find a second Ben there. I thought this was intentional, but it turned out just to be a glitch. I like to think that it was intentional. But to get back on the story, we enter an abandoned house where we get spooked by Sonic.exe. This is getting old. We also meet Masky and Hoodie here, who pulls a...
Listen, pal, I could just kill you right now, alright? And I'm not going to because we're such good friends, but I just know I could at all times.
We go to the next room where we find Eyeless Jack, who just runs us out of the room. We then go to the other room where we meet a bunch of creepypastas, so we'll just run for them all. We see Spooky Simpson, Yume Nikki, Sally.exe, the Mario Galaxy Gang, and Jane, who just does their thing. Don't go to sleep, tomorrow can be a worse day. After this, we go to the next room. We get chased by the Smile Dog. This motherfucker caused me so many problems, I had to redo this section too many times. When we get to the other side, we meet the fourth wall demon. This is where the game gets meta. The demon tells us that they are in a game where they call me out as a player. When Ben and Sally refuse to believe it, the demon proves them by showing the game over screen and jump scaring us in the menu before he brings us back to the game, where we have to do the fucking Smile Dog part again. I get to the other side where no one's there and we have to go back now. Oh god damn it! A few retries later and we finally meet Dee, who confirms to them that this world is a video game, and he just tells them not to think about it too much. He tells us that we need to find 6 medals before a ritual, so we're back in town to look for them. It becomes a giant hunt for them, which isn't too bad since the place isn't that big, and you get to find more secrets, so I don't mind it. After we get all the medals and go back to Dee, he gives us the last medal so we can start the ritual, which is basically just a boss rush with every chase scene, which doesn't seem too bad until you realize these fuckers cheat. Jeff goes through walls to the point you have to bait him to get around him. You get stuck on shit all the time, which leads to so many deaths. The worst is Laughing Jack. This fucker was impossible to do. I would just get stuck on shit and due to the fact I can't see anything, it made it impossible to get through without Laughing Jack burning at you at full fucking speed. This motherfucker would just laugh at me non-stop, even the title screen. This was complete hell, so after numerous, and I mean numerous tries, I was able to beat them and gain the holy power. Dee congratulates us and tells us to go to sleep. We go to sleep where we wake up to the last day in the game. We go back into town and go down a hole into a cave where you find Dee and Mephi fighting there. Turns out Mephi's a demon that started the curse. We all show up to help Dee where Jeff the Killer is brung it is, and Mephi says this golden line. It's time to know why they call him Jeff the Killer. It's so beautiful, but with the power of friendship, Jeff is taken aback. He says he respects us and turns on Mephi and attacks him. Dee takes his chance to see him away, the day is saved, Ben gets his fucking glasses back and everybody fucks off. Credit rolls as we see a bunch of creepypasta fan art of listen to the Death Note ending song. As Martin Scorsese would say, absolute cinema. Brings a tear to my eye. It even ends with a fin. Overall, while this game is pretty dated, the characters have flip-flop between being good and evil, and an insane-ass story, the game still has such a charm to it that I just can't help but love it. It's also just a great time capsule of the 2013 internet meme culture and the culture on creepypastas around the time. But there's more to the game, so we'll start with the bad ending. If you were not to the retro or collect on the medals and went to sleep, you wake up to find all the residents of town murdered, and if you go to the bridge near the theater, you find Ben there, covered in blood. He turns into Ben from Ben Drown and wants to torture you for using them and also lying about them being inside a video game. He tries to manipulate the audio to create a high-pitched noise. He describes it as sending data into our brain so he can mind control us. The devil shows up and a bunch of creepy imagery happens until he just says you shouldn't have done that over and over until you turn the game off. It's such a cool ending. I love endings that break the fourth wall and make the mess of you. I wouldn't say it's the best version of this ending, because it doesn't really mess with your computer or with you, it's just a scripted event that doesn't end. Doki Doki is a better example of this kind of ending, but let's go on to the next thing, which are the lost scenes. These can only be seen on Lucas's YouTube channel since he never put them in the game. The first scene is a joke scene where I explain why the popcorn cart is there. Laughing Jack put it there so he can scare people, but people are just happy to get free popcorn. This was kinda dumb, but on to the next thing. The next scene explains the second Ben glitch. It's just a hologram that Ben made. It leads to a nice scene between Ben and Sally though. Glitch? In my room? How could you thought such a thing? Hologram, show the Sally what you can do. I'm not scared. But I am. My hologram wasn't supposed to do that. Oh god. Ha ha ha, you fell in my prank. I was just joking around. I would say, oh god, Ben can't understand that I'm not afraid of these things. Damn, why are you so boring? It explains another glitch where if you click a chair, you get sent to a minigame. They just blame it on Poltergeist, which is not as good as the last one. The next thing shows Dee's past where he had a master who gave him a ticket to the Laughing Jack show. We don't ever get explained what happened, but the master died and is a skeleton inside the theater. We see Dee talk to his corpse after the events of the game as he tells him he will mentor Samara. Laughing Jack shows up to torment Dee, but Dee sees him away. It's a pretty nice scene, it's actually some pretty decent world building. Probably my favorite lost scene. After this we get a bunch of Easter eggs, which is kinda dumb since they are in the game. It does lead to a few scenes between Ben and Sally after the events of the game, cleaning up that to lie to people about what happened, which upsets Sally. And so the last scene revealing Ben is actually evil, as we hear his plans are to find a way to get into the real world. A fun but cheesy scene. I would say overall, these lost scenes are pretty good, but I do wish they were actually integrated into the game, but oh well. It's now time to talk about the wildest aspect of this game, the secret gore video! So yeah, if you find a key and enter a secret room, you find the password that says I'm dead 666. If you go into the files, you find a locked folder, or if you put the password in, you get a secret video that starts with this text that shows the username 666 video interlaced with actual gore. I'm not going to show any of it, but it's bad. It has a picture of a guy's head busted open and it wrenches someone's eye, and that's as far as I'm going to that, because it gets much worse. And after you see all that, the video tries to give you a fucking seizure, which I also won't show. This is fucking insane to find in a game, and I'm happy I found out before I stumbled upon it, but god damn, I don't think I need to say the obvious, but this shouldn't have been put in the game. I will say around the time, this was just a normal thing to do. That was when Live Leak was still a big thing. After knowing this, it does kind of make sense why you put it in back in the day, but now this shit is just unacceptable. It definitely wasn't what I was expecting to see when I planned to make this video, but hey, what can you do? But let's cover the last thing that this game has, which is the minigames. Bit of a tone shift here, but gotta lighten the mood somehow. After you beat the game, you get access to a secret house where you get to play minigames. A little off topic, but if you talk to one of them, they reveal a game that was being made called Creepypasta Land Party Edition. It was meant to be a party game, but it would just get turned into a remake of the game that we'll get into later. But let's now get into the minigames. The first one is Luigi's Kid's Mansion, which is basically just a maze where once you escape, you see this pretty cool Luigi picture. It's just a homage to Luigi Kid, which was pretty nice. The next one is a Pac-Man game where you get chased by creepypastas. It's fine.
Oh shit, here comes Pac-Man.
Yo, 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 yo! What it is, motherfuckers?
Nope, can't help you, man.
Pussies!
The last one's a My Little Pony cupcake game where you have to find whatever Pinkie Pie needs before the evil one shows up to kill you. This one just sucks because there's no hint where to go and it's just dumb luck. But finally we covered everything in this game. It was a pretty fun time. This is a fun game to play on Halloween night while drunk or high, just don't watch the gore video. But there was actually a sequel to this game, and that game is called Creepypasta Land 2 SCP Forces. After the success of the first game, Lucas decided to make a second game. Here is a demo of the game, which we'll be covering today, and which I'll explain why later. The game opens with Mephi torturing Jeff for betraying him until two demons show up named Azella and Asmodeus, and they show up and kill Mephi. They then give an insanity explosion pill to Jeff that will increase his insanity by 300% so he can be filled with rage. I don't even have anything to say, it's just better to just accept it and move on. We transition back to me and Ben as we play games till Dee shows up and sends us to a secret room as demons are invading Creotown. This is definitely a wild ass intro, but I kinda dig it. It's just so stupid to the point that you just want to see what happens next. The only problem is that we don't even get to play as ourselves in the entire demo, which is a weird choice, but let's not focus on it too much, as we get into the first chapter of the game where we follow Chris, the SCP Royal Knight guy. He meets with a guy named Simon and talks to the fucking king. For some reason the SCP in this universe is like a royalty thing that's kinda mixed with the government. Like I said, it's better not to think about it too much. The king says that they will need to kill all the SCP since their insanity is increasing beyond control due to the Creotown invasion. What the hell? But uh-oh, SCP-173 and even SCP-087 is out, which is just a fucking stairs that makes you hallucinate. A weird choice, but once again, don't think about it too much. We go off on our way till we get attacked by the ghosts from SCP-087. We get into a fight with it. Yeah, there's a new fighting system in the game, and it's fine. The biggest problem will be explained later on, but back onto the story. Simon goes up on his own to kill Natalie, the girl from Clockwork, in which she's not an SCP, so why would she be here? Don't think about it. Anyways, they fight and she gets the upper hand until Yoko, who takes care of Natalie, shows up and yells at him for hurting her. Chris shows up and sends Natalie to the Cow Forest. He does this so Yoko can have a chance of saving her from being killed by the organization. We then get chased by SCP-173. This is completely off the rails. After this, we go back to the king and he says he released SCP-049 so he can help in the future. The king dismisses us afterwards. This was all just chapter 1. Let's just get on to the next chapter now. I'll break down why it just sucks once we're done with the demo. The next chapter starts with Samara walking alone until she runs into SCP-49, who tells her she'll become a legendary witch that will help the Sanity Bringer.
Okay.
Samara continues to go on her way until she meets Chris, who asks for her help to deal with demons inside the fucking SCP castle. We go in and find Tiki Toe, but he uses his demons to fight us. This brings us back to the fighting system where this shit is just so unbalanced. The enemies are overpowered and we are weak as shit. It makes these fights so goddamn sufferable, but after we beat him, we go back into the base where we sleep there and we even meet the king's daughter, Shireen, who gives Chris a pendant. She is kind of pointless in the game, so we'll just move on to the last chapter of the demo. The demons from before turn to humans so they can trick us to go to Freddy fucking Fazbear Pizza. As we explore the place, Chica jump scares us, but Ben fucking slices her in half. What is this game? He's much more confident and a bit horny as well. This is the way you praise someone who saved you life? You should at least became my girlfriend to show that you are thankful. He escaped Creotown to come help us and now he joins us from now on. We go into the basement and meet Freddy Fazbear himself and we fight him. I can't beat him. Freddy Fuckbear is completely unbalanced, just fucking screws me over every time I try to fight him. I gave up since the demo ended after the fight, but I looked more into it and you're supposed to find a secret area to get better weapons and had to find a secret spot in the woods to fight someone so you can level up. Why in the actual fuck would you do that? I should be able to level up naturally if I haven't looked for secrets. This demo honestly kinda sucks. It's way too complicated, the fighting is unbalanced, the dialogue sucks and just kinda boring. I don't recommend this demo, it's just a headache, but sadly the game will get cancelled as Lucas wouldn't have time to work on it and FNAF overtook its popularity. But to be honest, this game wasn't gonna break for indie horror anyway. I mean, just look at it. It was definitely a fun experience though. There is one more thing that involves the second game, which is the trailer that Lucas made for it. The trailer is just a bunch of fan art and clips from anime that are badly dubbed over.
One of the creatures has been escaped.
I honestly enjoy this more than the actual demo. Even ends with Jeff the Killer Screamer. Beautiful. There is one more game that Lucas made for this series and it's called Creepypasta Land MV Edition. The game is basically just a remake of the first game, not much has changed, it's basically just a game with RTX on. There are a few changes though. There's a few rooms where you can fight people, it's not really integrating the game that well, so it doesn't really matter at all. They made Laughing Jack and Smile Dog easier to get through, but decided to make fucking Jeff the Killer more difficult, and made the last boss rush somehow more annoying. The song at the end was also changed, it's not as good as the original. Overall, it is a better version of the game, but I still prefer the original over this. There is a new ending to the game though. A new ending you get to go for a portal that takes you to the real world, where you get to meet Lucas, which is this nice scene. Yeah, sure, I created a full game called Creepypasta Land. It's very amateur, but I think it's good enough since I made it all alone and it's my first game. I never heard of your game. It must be fail. I mean, look at Five Nights series. They were also released 2014 and made an incredible success. I made this series. My game was getting really famous when FNAF was released. That's just sad for me, but FNAF is really amazing and original. I hope one day you also get this feedback for a future original game. Yes, I mean you got the talent, you just need a grammar teacher and a plot hub because you know Jeff killed the devil. I will download your game for sure and don't give up. Face all the problems and get the critics to prove more and more. You will surely work for Nintendo one day, and you'll be as famous as Shigeru Miyamoto. Yeah, that's my dream. I'm a big fan of Nintendo. I wish I could work for them. Thanks, Player, Ben, Sally, and Kronos. You're my hope. While it does suck that his plans of the future game did go down the crapper, I hope he was able to become a game developer at a studio and get better at making games. After this, meet the boss, who's definitely an Andrew Tate viewer. Haha, that's really interesting, but you are just a nerd. I'm a true example of a man at my young age. I'm already leader of this company. A true man. This is where Sally confesses her love to Ben that kinda comes out of nowhere, but hey, good for him. But if we go over and touch the balloon flame on the wall, we get sent to hell and meet Lucifer, who fucks his over, but God comes down and has a giant fight with him. A giant battle happens, but God wins. The fucking end. This does feel more like a trailer for the second game, but hey, it was fun. There is one more thing in the game. If we go for the part on the side, back in the rain world, we go back in time to see a different Ben's parents who are grieving his recent death from drowning. The parents of our Ben decide to name their child Ben in honor of him. This is done in a way to explain that this version of Ben haunts Ben to take over him. I think this is the most I have said Ben in a long time. It is a really great scene, probably the best one in the entire series. Overall, this is just a decent remake. It's not perfect, but it's an overall better package than the first. This is the last game Lucas would make before he stopped working on the series, where the series has been left untouched for many years. Now, this is where you think the video should end. A guy makes a successful indie game, a good remake, and an unsuccessful sequel demo. But no, cause there was a shitload of fan games and remakes based off this game. Now, there are two particular games I want to talk about, but first let's get for the other games first, starting with the meme one. I don't even know where to start with this one. This game is basically just the first game, but the images, textures, and dialogue has been replaced with dank memes. Your mom is now the pedo bear, Ben is Link from the Zelda CDI game, and Sally is now Sally from Sonic SatAM or High Dora, depending on her mood. Now, the biggest problem with this game is that I don't think I can even show most of this game. The biggest reason that the game shows a lot of crop porn and says a lot of slurs, particularly the end one, but I'll show a few moments from it. Yeah, that's basically what this game is, a bunch of edgy and offensive memes, but just so neat that I have fun with it. We'll just get on to the next game though. Now, the only reason I knew this game even existed and were tied to the original game was because of the Creepypasta Land wiki. Yes, this exists. If you try to find them on GameJolt, they aren't there because they got wiped off the fucking site, almost becoming lost media. But lucky me, someone still had a copy of each game and put them on the Internet Archive, so I was able to play them, but little did I know that I was about to go to the depths of hell with these games. I couldn't finish any of them, which I'm just going to simply explain what happens in each one, so we'll start with the first one. The game starts with us following some random guy on a ship with even worse grammar and spelling. It puts Creepypasta Land to shame. Then Slenderman shows up, fucks shit up, and now we focus on me. But more importantly, Pinkie Pie finds me and joins my party. Oh, don't worry, it gets worse. We go through the forest where I get gangbanged by a bunch of slimes. It's very unbalanced as there are way too many and we are 200 level to do that much damage. We do find Pinkie's reliable. It's canon that a pony has a fucking gun in Creepypasta Land lore. But anyways, we find my house where Pinkie just tells me to fuck off and leaves me. I explore my house that I owe for some reason, and that's where I find Jeff in my basement. Great, the game can finally start. And I start a fight with him, and well, fuck me then. I give up after this. I don't even know where to start. This felt like a fucking fever dream. We'll just get on to the next one. The The game starts with fucking Twilight Sparkle reading a story to us. I don't even have anything to say. The game starts with me and my sister going to school at Canterlot High. I think it's starting to hit me. These games aren't just your average Creepypasta fan games. It's My Little Pony Creepypasta fan game. This leads to the scene where I'll just let it play out. Please open Microsoft Word. What the? My computer has a strange virus. Picamina appears. You say a wish about creepypasta was real? What? You damn foretell a wish? You must die. We then get into a fight with her and the fight is actually balanced pretty well. After I beat her, she dies and the scene continues. How dare you? Take away that animal. Everyone have a family will die. What the hell was that? I don't know. I am Puto Wish Monster, we're real. Okay, that was paranormal. It happened. Well kids, the class is over. See you on the next week. This was pure cinema. We go to lunch afterwards where we bring up what happened earlier as if it's just an everyday thing. Guys, did you read a creepypasta of a Luna game? Maybe not. I hear that. It's an MOP horror story. It's very brave about that horror stories. Did you imaginate destroy nightmares? You right. Yes, I wish those stories was real. After this, I got lost and just ended the game. I felt like I might actually get cursed if I continue to play this. Let's just go over the last game now. Joke's on me, the game wouldn't start. A message popped up and said that an audio file of a My Little Pony song was missing, which meant the game was unable to load up. Well, ain't that a shame. Yeah, I don't know what to say about these games. It seems like the creator was inspired by the original game and wanted to make its own series, but most likely the guy used English as their second language and put all the dialogue through fucking Google Translate, which led to the awful grammar and spelling. But the guy also probably didn't know how to write a story or even know how to script events in the game, as apparently I took the wrong path in this game. I was supposed to go to lunch before the computer class scene, which led to me getting lost. But really, this was just fucking awful. I don't recommend playing these games unless you want to see how far this shit can go. And I've seen some clips, and yeah, it gets pretty fucking wild. But even then, the game is just very unbalanced in the later half of the first one, making them a nightmare to get through. But let's leave this shit show and just move on to the next game, where the creator took the original game and put it into 3D. This game is basically just the original game, but put in a 3D environment. But it does include a bunch of different events and dungeons, including a part where you have to collect pages for Slender, you get to explore the back rooms. There is only one problem though, the game is now lost media. The original creator got rid of the game and replaced it with a demo of a remake of this exact 3D game. We'll get into that one in a second, but for this one, I'm just not going to go over it, since I really want to talk about my experience playing the game and not watching someone else's Let's Play. But if you are interested in the game, I recommend watching Ouija's Kids Let's Play of the game, but for now, it's got that remake I was talking about earlier. This game is a remake of the original game, and honestly looks pretty good. The new 3D models allow for more dynamic shots in the game, which just looks so cool, but the game also gives a backstory for our character to explain why he's so weird and quiet all the time. The controls for the game are fine, if a little bit sensitive, but the controls for the controller ports are so bad. You move so fucking slow and I can't change it in the settings, which just makes the game very frustrating, so I have to use the mouse instead. Only problem is that the mouse is very sensitive, so it gets really annoying to use, especially when you keep clipping into the walls. But the biggest problem I had is trying to find the fucking house key so I can progress the story, but I just could not find it for the life of me. I kept clipping in this shit, getting lost, and when I got to the roof, we see Ben judging us for afar like a dickhead. I did finally find the key, thankfully, so now we can continue the game. We didn't go to the basement where... Okay, this is actually pretty creepy. We find Jeff down there and pray like usual, leads to this interaction. What the fuck are you doing? By kneeling and pretending to pray, it seems that your plan to make him feel confused is working. It worked? What is this feeling in my head? Ugh! You disgusting human. If I kill you now, your blood won't taste good. Next time, your god won't save you. See you in your dreams. Bitch! Homeboy was really offended by that. After that, we go to sleep and we wake up inside a giant labyrinth where we find a bunch of Jeffs pissed at what I did earlier. This leads to a chase scene, which is pretty frustrating, but we'll get into the chases in this game later on. I find a room to hide from them, but I just get pissed off and go back out to fight them, and that's when the dream ends. I honestly prefer the original where I just got flashed. Back to the game though, we go to Ben's house where I call Ben's dad an asshole.
What an asshole.
I attempt to go to Ben's room, but this happens. This actually got me, I was not expecting it at all, but this leads us to going to the back rooms and the atmosphere is incredibly dense here, until you spend a fucking hour just trying to escape the goddamn place. I finally did figure out you're supposed to click on this wall with a picture on it, but when you do, you get chased by the Smiler. I could not fucking escape these goddamn back rooms, having to fight with the shitty camera and the fact there's a second genre where you get lost pretty easily and die. I tried so many times, no matter what path I choose, I just get fucking lost and die, and die, and die. Fuck this. I did not like this game at all. While I do like the idea to take the original game and put it in a 3D environment, these chase scenes just suck and just rely on you getting lost for its difficulty, which just gets so frustrating after a while. I do know the game continues with a Slender Forest section with you getting chased by Slender as you click all those pages, and who knows how fucking annoying that would have been. But that's it for this game. I wish I could like it, but the backroom section generally pissed me off too much. I just don't want to play the game anymore. But we now only have 2 more games left to play, and they were made by the same creator, whose goal is to remake the original game and to finish the original Creepypasta Land 2. Before we get to the fan-made sequel, let's go over the remake that they made. I replayed this game's story so many times, I just basically just focus on speedrunning for these games now. But anyways, it's basically just a remake of the first game, not changing the story that much, but does include a bunch of new mechanics, one of them being a sanity mechanic. Depending on what you find in the game and the actions that you take can affect your sanity. Now at first, I thought this mechanic sucked, as it basically punishes you for finding creepy things in the game, which is the whole point of the original game, but the sanity meter is basically just your health, which means the more you fuck up in the game, the more difficult the game got in its QTE sectors, which I'll get into in just a sec. So it's not really that bad at all. The only mechanics of the game are basically just a story decision and how they can affect your game. Ben and Sally can actually die in this game if you fuck up too much, and the game will just go on. I like this a lot as it turns the game from a walking simulator to an engaging game where if you screw up the QTE events too much, the character will die and the game will just continue on like normal. Oh yeah, I need to talk about the QTE stuff. I love and hate this mechanic as it makes the game more engaging, but this shit can be so enraging at times. It basically allows you to stop creepypastas from killing you, and is also used when you get into a chase segment. This leads me to tell you about the new segments in the game. The game adds in new segments to fill in the blanks in the story, the first one being about Ben getting chased by the Tails doll where Ben can die if you fuck up. The other segment of the game is an expansion on the ghost curse in the original game. You get sent to Lavender Town, go to the tower where you get chased by the ghosts and buried alive. This was honestly really fun and cool, which changes a boring section from the original game and turns it into a fun chase. The next new segment is after the fear where Ben gets attacked by Sonic.exe. I actually lost Ben to this as you're supposed to not attack Sonic, which is pretty stupid since last time I failed a QT event he died, but anyways, the abandoned house is also changed where Sally and Ben get their own segment and get chased by the Smile Dog. I like the changes here as they turn the most frustrating part of the game into a fun experience, but we don't get the 4th wall demon here, which is a shame. The last big change is the finale, where instead of getting a quick cutscene, you engage Mephi in a giant fight, which is pretty cool. Oh shit, well I guess I have to try again. But instead of getting a game over, we get sent to the batting, where you kill everyone and Ben confronts you on it. It's the same stuff as before, but we get a QT event that I screwed up since I was using controller and didn't know where to fucking click X and D on it, which leads to my save files getting deleted. You got to be fucking kidding me. So now I have to play the entire game again. Fantastic. So I play the game again, make sure I don't lose any QT events and make sure Ben dumbass doesn't die again. When I get back to the finale, I do my best to be Mephi, which took a few retries. There's so many goddamn QTEs that only a few mistakes led to me having to redo the entire thing again. It drained me a bit, but I did it. I finally beat Mephi and got the credit. What a goddamn ride. While I will say this game did frustrate me a bit and the QTEs did get annoying, this game is the best version of the story and it's the most polished version of this game. It actually feels like a video game. I appreciate the effort put into it, but I still prefer the original over this. It lacks the charm of the original as all the random moments are gone, especially the 4th wall demon, which is an important part of Ben's motivation to kill everyone, but now it's time to cover the final game in this video. The same creator from the last game will go and finish the original sequel, so we can now see what Lucas' original vision would have been. This does mean that the game doesn't have any of the new things from the last game, it even keeps the fighting system from before, but the dialogue was updated, so it doesn't sound like gibberish. It still keeps the insanity explosion pills though, but let's just get into the game and see what it's all about. The first 3 days are the exact same with just better dialogue. The Freddy Fazbear fight is still shit, but I was able to beat it this time. I even found Spanish speaking ponies. I didn't think I would ever say something like that in my entire life. We'll just get on to the next chapter. The next chapter is about Yoko looking for Natalie, where we do get to see a new mechanic in this game, which is a stealth mechanic. In some parts of the game, you have to avoid the enemy sight, which just involves them going in a circle. It's not that advanced, but it does help mix the game up. After you get through all the enemies, you find Natalie all alone in the forest. You try to convince her to come back with you, but she refuses and even fights you when she said you have a weapon. You lose the fight and are about to die until fucking Jane shows up and is able to convince Natalie from killing you, even going back with you. After that, she does her thing and fucks up. She never comes back again, basically a fucking Deus Ex Machina. The two make up and go back to the base, and that's the end of chapter 4. Most of this game is just a giant cutscene of mostly scripted fights. There are some real fights, but that's not till the end of the game. We'll just get on to the next chapter. The king decides to send Chris and Samara to Creo Town to help Dee and rescue you. We then transition to see Dee and Jeff the Killer fight, which we get to see this beautiful model. After we beat Jeff, Dee quickly retreats to the abandoned house to join you and Sally. We go back to Chris and Samara, who are back in town now, but he quickly has 2 demons from before show up and summon a bunch of creepypastas. We now have to sneak for all of them, which isn't too difficult till the last part we have to run for a bunch of them in one go. It screwed me up for a while, but I did make it through. After this, we find out we're unable to get into the abandoned house as it's locked up. This now leads us to the next chapter. Dee meets up with you and Sally, in which Sally is freaking out. This leads to Dee doing a fucking Chris Griffin.
Why are you so fucking negative all the time?
We finally get to play as our character halfway through the game. About fucking time. As we run for the house to meet SCP-049 again, who tells you that you are the Sanity Bringer and this whole thing was caused by the Curse of Zalgo, which is a plot point for the remake that I forgot to bring up, but he fucks off afterwards and doesn't show up again. You starting to pick up a pattern? Anyways, we get ambushed by the same demons from before, but we're saved by Chris and Samurai and we make it back to the SCP base. But sadly, Chris stays behind and gets kidnapped by the demons. After this, we get a scene of Yoko convincing the king to let Natalie come back. After this though, Natalie never shows up again and Yoko just falls into the background and it's not important anymore. Let's just move on to the next chapter now. In this chapter, we meet the king and tells us that we need to level up our holy power, and to do that, we need to go to church. But first, we get new clothes from the king, officially make us part of the SCP forces. When we get to church, you have to do a ritual to get better holy powers, which means going through a giant maze and killing every creepypasta. This wasn't too bad. The biggest problem is trying to find your way through the damn thing, but once it's done, we get the epic holy power and make our way back to the base. When we get there, we find out that it's getting burned down and that people are getting slaughtered inside there. We see that the king is also getting attacked by the same demons that have been screwing with you this entire time. They quickly beat our asses until the kids remember that you have the holy powers now, so we use them to kill demons for good. Fucking dumbasses. The king then tells us to meet Dee in the secret room so we can go to hell and fight Lucifer. Hell yeah. We find Dee, get some oil, and then we go to hell. For the first half of the chapter, we go for hell and fight demons as we make our way to Lucifer, and it's kind of fun honestly. Almost like I'm playing a video game. Oh shit, I used my last regular potion. Hopefully it doesn't have any major consequences in the future. Foreshadowing's a little very we make it to the castle, and this is where the game gets pretty annoying. We have to run through this giant maze while avoiding skeletons, have to walk on creaky floors where if you walk on the wrong one, you die. Took me many times to figure it out. And even deal with the red mist girl by jumping out of a fucking window. But the biggest thing to know is that you find Chris in the dungeon of the castles where you have to give him a potion to save him, but I used the last one earlier, so sucks to be you, Chris. But remember this moment as it will come back to bite me in the ass. We get to Lucifer, he captures us and takes Ben, determined to Ben drown. We then get taken to the bad ending of the game. We get the same bad endings we got from all of these games, but this one actually does mess with your computer though, which is cool. And Ben throws you to the lake of drown, which is a nice touch. But before that, Ben tells you should have saved Chris. Oh well shit, I guess I gotta go save his ass to get the good ending. I go back to my last save to save Chris, but I need to get a small potion to save him, but I can't leave the castle. I checked every chest, killed every single enemy, and checked every nook and cranny in that fucking castle. And that's when it hit me. I don't have a potion to save Chris and get the good ending. This meant I had to replay the entire 2-hour game because I didn't realize that I need a fucking potion to get the normal ending. Fuck me. It's just fucking cruel. Why in the absolute hell would they do this? But fucking who cares? I went back and replayed the whole fucking game again. This is the reason I didn't get this down the hallway because a 2-hour game took me 5 hours to beat. I quickly went for the whole game again, made sure I have enough of those fucking potions so I can save Chris's dumb ass. Fuck you, Chris. Let's get back to the story now. After the kids get captured, we go back to Chris, who has to rush through the entire castle and has to fight so many goddamn skeletons, but when we get there and save the kids, we get revealed on who the guy next to Lucifer was. And it's fucking Simon from the beginning of the game, the guy who tried to kill Natalie. This then leads into telling us his backstory that takes us to the next chapter. We learned that Simon was actually a demon and his mother and father lived in the forest of Credo Town. He leaves his house and goes into town where he sees Chris and Yoko going to a movie. He joins and helps them pay for the movie where they watch the fucking anime trailer for the second game, which impacted Simon a lot. Years go by and Simon's dad died and his mother got sick. One day his mother disappeared and when he went out to go look for her, he only finds this. Oh my god, the Zoggle Woman Screamer was Simon's mother, and this leads him seeking revenge on Chris as he felt betrayed by him. This is actually a pretty good twist and is the best part of the whole game. But let's get on to the last chapter of the game. Back in the present, Chris fights Simon after calling him a parasocial freak. The fight isn't too bad, but after the fight, Chris takes his gun out and fucking shoots Simon. A pretty cool scene, even if the whole Simon thing could have been executed better. But we go to the kids where they have their big giant fight with Lucifer. The fight was actually pretty easy and just takes forever, but hey, at least it's not the Freddy fight. After we beat him, we go to save Ben, but we're too late, he already turned, which is us having a giant final bite against Ben Drown. This fight takes forever, and you have a side objective to have Sally convince Ben to go back to normal, but I decided to use my holy powers to quickly lower his HP so we can get the fight quickly. I use it and holy shit! Oh god damn it! No, what have we done? Ben, we killed him. We killed him. I'm so sorry, Sally. He was my only friend in my crisis, now I'll always be alone. I had to redo all the fights again. This game truly just fucking hates me. I finally beat him and get Sally to bring him back to his usual self, where we see a bunch of flashbacks from the first game. We then run out of the castle before it collapses on us, and we escape hell. The day is saved, and we get to go back home and play some video games. The fucking end. This game was a fucking trip, and a tiresome one at that. The story is all over the place. It tries to be this giant epic story, but really you can boil it down to the town getting invaded, we get picked up by the SCP-4s, we upgrade our holy power, we go to hell and fight Lucifer and save Ben. Everything else doesn't truly matter at all, as it just feels like padding. SCP-049, Yoko and Natalie, Jane the Killer, even the King's Daughter just feel like they're there to fill in time. Even the whole Simon subplot was really pointless, even if I like those scenes. It just don't matter overall. It just leaves this game feeling bloated and tiresome to get through. But the biggest problem is that this game isn't really scary. Yes, I know these games aren't that scary in the first place, but overall they still had a nice spooky atmosphere. This does not. It's not even really about creepypastas. You can just replace them with regular demons, as most of them do nothing. Freddy Fazbear, Jeff the Killer, and Tiki Toby are the only one that get any screen time. Shit, there's barely any screamers in this. At best we do get a creepy hidden room that is pretty unnerving. But this is just a secret room, so the main game is still pretty not scary and just boring. While I do appreciate the effort that went into making this, it doesn't change the fact that this game does suck, but I'm happy that we are able to get a complete version of this game, even if it does suck. And there we have it, we went through every single Creepypasta Land game, and it was something alright. After FNAF came out, most people who did like this game would just move on to that one and just leave this series behind, leaving it to have a quick death, and not soon after, Creepypasta will also begin to lose its popularity. This is due to many reasons, which include the several self-insert killer stories, people turning these terrifying monsters into fucking twinks, and most importantly, people began to realize that these stories just suck. The bad Creepypasta YouTube series opened my eyes just to how bad these stories were. This would slowly lead to the hype of Creepypasta slowly dying out, as people just simply were not scared of them anymore, and most of them would just get turned into memes.
Stop reading our refrigerator! Yikes! He just whacked me with a warm wiener!
Only recently have Creepypasta had some resurgence, mostly from people who grew up with them. They went back to these stupid AMV videos and reflected on the memories they had in reading these Creepypastas. This includes me, as watching this dumb insanity AMV just reminds me how old I am and how I saw this video 10 fucking years ago. Same with these games, as dumb and cringy as they are, they still have a place in my heart, so I guess I want to thank Lucas for making them. It was such a joy to revisit these games, and I do hope that one day Lucas will come back and finish the second game so we can truly get his real version of what the second game could have been. But that's most likely never going to happen. But that's all I wanted to say. If you like this video, give it a like, subscribe, and even leave a comment if you could. Until then, I'll see you in the next one.